Hello everyone. I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now, I'm stressed. But not for the reasons you might think. This talk is being recorded. That means that my voice, my expressions, my face, it's all gonna be online, probably forever. And that terrifies me. But not because I'm scared I'll mess up, but because I'm scared of what will happen once this recording becomes a part of the digital world. You see, when I started the podcast, I wasn't afraid of the content or of having or the guests. And I was pretty comfortable with just my voice. Audio felt safe. But when it came to turning on the camera, suddenly I started thinking, what's in my background? What could identify me? What could put me at risk? And this fear isn't irrational. It's based on real stories, real people, real children. There was once a kid playing a game on his iPad. Innocent, fun, normal. Until he got an inappropriate ad. He gets scared, rushes to his parents. But then the ad disappears. So the parents don't think much of it. It was probably a glitch, maybe a mistake. Until it happens again. And this time, he's crying. There's definitely something wrong. So the father decided to stay on the iPad, play the game, until the ads appear again. But they don't. Until he does one specific thing. He gets a picture of his son and places it in front of the camera. And that's when the ads started appearing again. Let that sink in. Something or someone was watching, waiting for that specific face. And this isn't a one-off. When I used to teach kids coding, I once had a student tell me in a whisper that he went to the bathroom one time with his phone and he saw an ad that was so wrong and so scary that he never took his phone with him again. Can you imagine that? A child being scared away from his own device, not because of something he searched or something he clicked, but because something targeted him in that specific moment. And then I saw a post by an educator, Miss Abida. And she was discussing how even child-friendly games can still have inappropriate ads on them. And that's why she pays for ad-free versions. To protect her kids. Because sometimes a 10-second ad can leave an impression. It can plant a thought. It can alter curiosity and change behavior. So, I am terrified. And this is why I'm here today. To talk about something that isn't talked about enough. The dangers of being online. For you, for me, and for all of us. So let's start with probably the most vulnerable group, the kids. We think that giving them a device is a safe option, that child-friendly games are okay. But we tend to forget that children have more access to the internet than we ever did. They are digital natives, but that doesn't make them digitally safe. Yes, we try to protect them by adding parental controls, but sometimes screen limit isn't enough. Because we need to understand that behind every innocent game can have a data collecting engine, or worse, a platform for targeted manipulation. So what about us? We think we're digitally safe. We keep our profiles private, we blur our house number, and we blur our house numbers. But every time we post something, we're giving something away. And that's all it takes. It has happened to people, it has happened to celebrities, and we also need to remember that now we're in an age where deep fakes exist. There are many people that got their faces in AI-generated videos, or even their voices cloned, calling their parents for help. And people's profiles got hijacked, and they didn't even realize it until it was too late. And when it happens, it's not just embarrassing, but it's life-altering. There are many actors, politicians, and everyday people who've lost their jobs, their credibility, and their safety just because of what was posted online. Because here's the scary part. Yes, we might think it's a harmless post, but the internet doesn't forget. And most importantly, it doesn't interpret, it just stores. You take a picture on your birthday. Now your birth date is online. You take a picture of your childhood house. Now your old address is out there. You post your dog's name, and guess what? Your bank security question is revealed. Now, let me tell you a cybersecurity story. There's Alice and there's Bob. They're messaging each other, maybe sending a transaction. And they think they're private, but they're not, because there is Eve, the man in the middle, intercepting, reading, changing, and sometimes even impersonating one of them. And that's terrifying, because what does Eve do with this information once she gets it? Online data never expires. It never fades, and it never forgets. What you post today might resurface again in 10 years. Your digital footprint will always stay. Nowadays, while we're scrolling, we believe everything we see. We don't pause to think, is this real? Is it credible? We just agree with it. Because that's what social media trained us to do. It trained us to believe and agree with what aligns with our values and ignore what doesn't. And that doesn't only risk our safety, but also our perception of what's true. Now, you might think, okay, I'm officially scared, maybe I should just go off-grid. But of course, that's not the realistic solution. But there are some ways and there are some steps that you can take to prevent those risks. Number one, think before you post. Is there anything that can identify where you live? Anything that can put you at risk? And also, disable any unnecessary permissions. Your phone doesn't need access to your camera and microphone 24/7. And don't forget to always use two-factor authentication. And lastly, and I think it's the most important, talk to the kids in your life. Listen to them. Ask them what they see, how they feel. Because sometimes children don't need rules. They need someone to believe them. Now, let me end this with one last story. There was once a mother who posted a picture of her newborn child. Harmless. Until months pass and she sees the same picture in an ad in a different country. She didn't even know about it herself because no one asked her for permission. Because the internet did what it does best. It copies, it spreads, and it never asks for permission. This isn't about fear. It's about power. Power to hold on to what matters the most. Your voice, your face, your story, your kids. So next time you're scrolling, or you post, or you share, think to yourself, is it really worth the risk? Thank you.